Today's children's time lesson comes from the first story of creation in Genesis 1, the first book of the Hebrew Bible or Christian Old Testament. It's a story that some of you might know, and some of you made artwork for today's lesson. Thank you so much for sharing it. This story reminds me of all the things we can be thankful for. Here's the story. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God called the light day and the darkness night. Then God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place, and let dry ground appear." And it was so. And God called the dry ground land, like mountains. And the gathered water God called seas. God saw it was good. A friend from church drew this picture of the beach where the water meets the sand, and he wrote, "I like the beach because of the water. I like his beach picture because of the castle with the red flag." Another friend from church drew this picture of his family enjoying nature while camping, and he wrote, "I love to jump outside and especially to go camping. Running, jump, jump, jump. I am thankful to go outside." Well, after the creation of land and water, God made the vegetation. That's what the creation story tells us. Seed-bearing plants and trees of the land that bear fruit, like pumpkins. My friend who did this picture said she liked pumpkins because she is thankful for pumpkins because we can carve them and make them into pie. Well, God was pleased with the plants. The land produced vegetation, trees, fruit. I like this drawing because it reminds me of Colorado, and I know lots of friends from church like going to Colorado, especially the Baldwins. The friend from church who drew this picture called it wheat blowing in the wind. I think you can see the motion of the Kansas wind blowing the wheat over. Here are 3 quick pictures of the prairies in Kansas in summer, fall, and winter. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the darkness from the day from the night. Let the lights in the vault of the sky give light to the earth." And God made 2 great lights, the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky. The person who drew this picture said, "I like the sky. I like it that you can turn it so it's sun up, daytime, moon up, nighttime." You can imagine being in one side of the world or the other. Then God said, "Let the waters teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth, and fish swim in the ocean." So God created the great creatures of the sea, the whale and the narwhal, the manatee, the goldfish, and the starfish, and the jellyfish, and the worried fish, and every happy fish too, and the coral fish, the shark, and more sharks. Well, God created every winged bird, and God saw that it was good. God blessed all those birds, said, "Be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the skies, and let the birds increase in the sky and on earth, in the jungle, and in our backyards." There's a flamingo with boots and a beret, and a pelican, a swan, all kinds of birds. Well, the passage talks about birds of the sky, but we know that God also created the birds of the not sky. The friend who drew this penguin said, "I like penguins because they are so cute when they waddle." I drew this picture for a friend from church who loves chickens. I drew it because I wanted to see her smile. I know she's grateful for chickens, and I'm grateful for her. I'm not sure where insects fit in to this story. This is where I put them in our drawings. We've got lots of mammals, dogs and bats and bats. And God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock and the creatures that move across the ground, the wild animals like beavers. I drew this picture of a goat for my friends the Myers and the Millers, and my friend Amy, who really wants a goat. The Myers and the Millers have them, but Amy just really wants them. I'm thankful for goats because I love it when Ruth and Steve bring fresh goat cheese to church. Lots of friends at church were grateful for cats. Here's an orange kitty. The friend who drew this said cats are important. He loves his cat because he is so furry and cute. You can tell he loves his cat because of the orange hearts. I'm sorry, the pink hearts. Here's that same cat again, drawn by another friend. You can see he wrote, I'm thankful for my cat because he is my friend. Here's an orange cat that I drew. I can only draw cats because I'm allergic to them in real life. But if you like reptiles, we have those too. Geckos and snakes, because God made every living thing. And lots of dogs. I think maybe somebody at church has a dachshund. That's my dog, Sunny. He turned 14 recently. I love him because he's sweet and he likes to sit at my side while I'm working. Here's another cat. The friend who drew this picture said, I am grateful for all cats, especially my cat Coco, because they are cute, cuddly, and friendly. And here's a little line drawing of a mole popping up out of the ground to see the sunshine. Well, the creation story tells us that God made all the animals, all the plants, and everything we can see in nature. And then God said, now let's make a new creation, humanity. Look at all the variety there. Oh, God just did just that. God created humanity in God's own image. Then God blessed people and gave them these directions. I make you trustees of my estate, so care for my creation. What does it mean that people are the last part of creation? Well, European culture has traditionally taught us that this meant that people were in charge. They were on top of the food chain, and every other living thing belonged to us, so we could use it however we wanted. If we wanted to cut down the trees, we could. If we wanted to dig the mountains, we could. We could do what we wanted because we were in charge. We were allowed to dominate all the other parts of creation because we were made in God's image. That's what some kind of Christians believe. Well, I've been reading more about indigenous or Native American Christians and how they understand this story. Christians who are part of these cultures often read this story and don't think it means that people should dominate other parts of creation. They think it means that we're dependent on them. If we took away everything under the people, we'd be in rough shape. We rely on them. Right? We depend on them, and so we have to care for them. This week is Thanksgiving in the U.S. I'm thankful that we know good ways to care for the earth. I'm thankful for indigenous people reminding European Christians that that's our job. I'm grateful for the landscapes, the plants and animals that we rely on. I'm grateful that we can join with God in appreciating our natural world. And I'm thankful for each of you.